Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. This is a what-if story about Naruto joining the Akatsuki, and I believe this is part 22, so if you haven't already, check the playlist on my channel to see what you missed so far. Or, if you're just interested in this video, give it a try and see if you like it. I post new videos every Sunday, so if you like what-if videos, go ahead and subscribe to see whenever I post. So, with the intro out of the way, let's start the video.
Look around. Try to find the people who stand out, the faceless crowd, lost and found, picking up on the speed of sound to faster ground, moving on. I can't hold back all the new progress, what I've done best, but how about now? Showing off all of the things you missed, all your interests.
After failing to capture the 8 Tails Bee, Kisame is on his way to report back to Obito, but with Might Guy being healed by Tsunade, Lee volunteers after Kisame, hoping to disrupt the Akatsuki communication. Kisame can feel Lee's presence behind him, so he stops and readies for a fight, but he's surprised when he sees the young man running behind him. Kisame asks, "So they sent a kid like you to fight me? That Might Guy must really have a bad memory, because if he knew who I was, he would have never let you come alone." Lee calls back saying, "I am more than capable of handling myself in a fight, and I won't back down, so there's no point in trying to intimidate me." Kisame's grin turns to a snarl as he screams out, "Have it your way, kid. Water style, shark bomb jutsu." Kisame's sharks shoot out, chasing down Rock Lee, who can barely jump out of the way. But before he can make his next move, Kisame rushes to him and lands a hard punch that sends Rock Lee to the ground. While still trying to catch his breath, Lee narrowly dodges Kisame's sword Samihara, rolling to the side and back to his feet. Kisame laughs. "Huh, you're out of your league, kid. If you don't run now, I'll be picking pieces of you out of my teeth in no time." Lee catches his breath, realizing this will be his hardest fight yet. Lee bursts into the 6th gate with an explosion of power, surprising Kisame. Lee screams out, "I'll show you how strong taijutsu can be," before dashing towards Kisame. Kisame wildly swings his sword, but Lee dances around it, quickly ducking and dodging as he closes in for an attack, and throws a strong strike straight to Kisame's face. But Kisame quickly brings his sword back to block the attack as he mocks Lee. "You're fast, but you won't last long once I drain all your chakra." Lee spins around and lands a sidekick that pushes Kisame back, who is clearly confused, thinking to himself, "Samihara didn't steal hardly any of his chakra, what gives?" Kisame sends out shark bombs, but Lee slams his foot into the ground and kicks a chunk of the ground out, exploding the shark before it can reach him. Then goes back on the attack. Kisame is barely able to react fast enough to defend himself, allowing Lee to land several strong hits, until Kisame whacks him again with his sword, hoping to drain more chakra and end Lee's transformation. But again, it doesn't work. Kisame yells out in frustration, "What the hell are you? Why can't I steal your chakra?" Lee says, "You have stolen some chakra from me, but that is fine, I don't need it. My taijutsu is more than enough to handle you. I'll prove that only being able to use taijutsu won't hold me back." Kisame is amazed that Lee has been fighting this whole time without using any chakra or ninjutsu, but this also makes him overconfident, thinking, "If I don't have to worry about ninjutsu, I'll fight him from a distance and end it quick." Kisame sends a wave of water at Rock Lee, pushing him back and letting Kisame spam water-style sharks, giving Lee little time to react or counterattack. "If I finish this kid quick, none of the Alliance Ninja will have a chance to save him. I'll just have to be careful not to make enough water that they can see it from the battlefield." Lee continues dodging the shark bombs as he feels his body getting tired from the 6th gate. "I need to stop wasting time and be aggressive," Lee thinks. "The longer I wait, the less time I have to win." Lee takes a deep breath and tells himself, "I will win this, no matter what." Lee rushes forward, punching straight through several shark bombs quicker than they can explode, and then kicks Kisame into the air. Kisame yells out in pain from the strong kick and tries to block the next hit with his sword as he flies into the air. But Lee smacks the sword out of Kisame's hand, then connects with a punch that sends his opponent back to the ground, leaving a small crater from the force of the impact. Rock Lee, while still in the air, thanks Guy Sensei for teaching him this next move as he calls out, Asukajaku and punches the air at what looks like light speed to Kisame, who is unable to get up from the strong hit. But Kisame begins to fear for his life when he sees fire forming out of Lee's hands, as every time Lee punches, a fireball is formed that starts sailing towards him. As more fireballs fall around Kisame, creating a smoke cloud, Rock Lee begins to fall as he pulls back a finishing blow for Kisame and crashes down like a meteor, landing on the ground. The smoke clears and Lee can tell he missed, as Kisame is nowhere to be seen. Until he hears a voice behind him. "You're pretty strong, kid, but now it's over." Lee looks behind him and sees Kisame in a monstrous state. Kisame was able to survive Lee's attack only because one of his sharks was able to grab Samihara and bring it to him, allowing Kisame to fuse with it and transform into his tailless-tailed beast form. Kisame says, "Now that you pissed me off, I'm gonna finish you off nice and slow. I hope you like swimming." Now uncaring of if he's seen, summons his huge water bubble, flooding the area and trapping Lee inside, hoping to slowly drown him. Kisame smugly laughs until he sees Lee swimming towards him at an incredible speed. "What the hell," Kisame says, as Lee slams into him with a thunderous kick. Then, as Kisame flies backwards, Lee turns around the other way, trying to swim out of the bubble to catch his breath. Kisame quickly regains his balance and swims after Lee, hoping to keep the bubble centered on top of him so Lee can't escape. Lee looks back and can see Kisame gaining on him, and several shark bombs also chasing after him, so he decides he has to go all out or else he will die. Lee opens up the 7th gate, sending shockwaves through the water, and now at full power, swims as fast as he can towards the edge of the water. Kisame is again amazed at Lee's strength, as he sees Lee slowly outspeeding him in the water. "How can he be this fast? It's unbelievable. I'll have to drop the water or else he will escape." Kisame releases the water, causing Lee to fall to the ground and struggle to catch his breath, as Kisame slams into him and unleashes a barrage of attacks. Kisame then forms a water prison around Lee, saying, "This smaller bubble is even more dense than the big one, and with me right here controlling it, I can add as much water as I need to crush you inside. I will admit, you are incredibly strong, ninja. You really had me worried when I saw how fast you were in the water, but this fight is over now." Lee can feel the weight of the water around him and the pain of the 7th gate. He knows he only has 1, maybe 2 moves left before his body gives up, so he slowly forces his hands up as Kisame rambles on. Lee again thinks of his training with Might Guy and remembers watching him use a strong technique. Lee also remembers asking Guy to teach it to him, but Guy always said, later when the time is right. Lee tells himself, "I hope this works," as he does a hand sign and says, "Hiridora." As Lee punches the water, he pushes out a massive attack, breaking Kisame's water prison with a tiger-like appearance. The attack bites into Kisame, doing major damage. Kisame tries absorbing the attack, but, true to Lee's word, this isn't a ninjutsu attack. Kisame thinks, how strong must this kid be to use an attack this strong with pure taijutsu? Lee falls to the ground as his attack explodes on Kisame. Lee thanks Guy Sensei in his head, saying, "It might not be as strong as yours, but it worked." Lee exits the gates as he is barely able to stand, as he slowly walks over to Kisame. Kisame lays down in the water, unable to move, as Samihara lays next to him, forced out of his body by the attack. Kisame tries catching his breath, as Lee says, "Please don't move, I don't want to kill you." Kisame casually asks, knowing he's beaten, "How did you learn to swim so fast anyway?" Lee smiles. I do 500 laps every morning in the lake outside of Konoha to start my training." Kisame laughs as he slowly moves his hand over to Samihara. Lee goes to stop him, but Kisame launches Samihara at Lee, who ducks under it. But with this distraction, Kisame is able to knock Lee off his feet, saying, "You should have killed me when you had the chance, but don't worry, I won't make the same mistake." Kisame charges up a huge shark bomb, as Lee is still struggling to stand up. Kisame seems ready to fire it off, but he stops. Lee sees someone standing behind Kisame. Just in time, Neji has finally arrived, and with Kisame focused on Lee, Neji quickly uses his Byakugan to target a few chakra points and stop Kisame from attacking. Lee gets to his feet and enters the 4th gate to finish off Kisame with a primary lotus, completely knocking him out. Lee thanks Neji as he collapsed from exhaustion. Neji catches Lee and helps him walk, saying, "No problem, that's why Guy Sensei sent me. You know, you could have beaten him yourself if you weren't so easy to trick." Lee laughs as Neji ties up Kisame. Then, Neji sends a message to the Ninja Alliance that they captured an Akatsuki member, telling them his location and asking to be picked up as soon as possible so the Yamanaka clan can interrogate him for any information on the Akatsuki's plan. Neji also tries picking up Kisame's sword, just in case Kisame tried to use it again, but Samihara quickly moves away from Neji and closer to Lee. Lee picks it up, thinking it was still trying to help Kisame, but Samihara happily goes into Lee's hands. Samihara seems to have taken a liking to Lee after his fight with Kisame, and even gives him some of the chakra Kisame had stored inside him to give him the extra energy he needs to walk. Neji warns Lee not to play around with the sword, but Lee seems to have also taken a liking to Samihara and decides to carry it with him to the Alliance base, telling Neji he's only gonna hold it so Kisame won't be able to use it. But as they wait for the Alliance ninja, the battle continues. With little hope, Orochimaru has left the battlefield and despite Tsunade's orders, made preparations to revive the previous 4 Hokage, and anyone else who can change the tide of battle for the 5 great nations. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can help the channel grow, and if you liked the video, leave a comment so YouTube will keep showing my channel off to new people. That's all for today. I'll talk to you all next time.